right next to the
Metro station, Rasoolpura.
metro station. You get off the train, take a little walk, and you're here. You enter this little green door, and there's this massive space to do whatever you want to do.
Yes!
Let's go in.
Let's go in.
हो गया ना रे बोले ना
I didn't get that question.
So this is the first podcast, and you know I've been discussing this with you for a very long time, right? Like ये करेंगे वो करेंगे ये करेंगे 2 महीने हो गए. So गीजर का अपना इंटरनल जोक तो लोगों को समझ में नहीं आता, लाइट लेंगे बट पानी गर्म हो गया फाइनली और कॉफी भी बना लिया अपन. So we're with Chandni Agarwal, who is the co-founder of Yogibear Collectives, and who's the other co-founder?
My mother.
Your mother's the other co-founder, okay. And before we get into like picking your brains about the space and everything, one question that I really want to ask you is that not very long time ago, there used to be this park on Necklace Road called Yogibear Park. Was that also yours?
So Yogibear Park was my mom's.
Okay.
And that's why she's a co-founder for Yogibear Collectives, because we've taken her name.
Okay.
The park was basically my mom's. Basically, छोटे थे ना, तो ये NTR and Lumbini Park and those were the only places that we could go to play outdoors.
Right.
And एक गेम पे जाने के लिए एक घंटा लाइन में खड़े होके एक बार स्लाइड पे जा सकते हो, वैसा हालत था वहाँ पे, because they didn't have a lot of things. So as children, because my mom genuinely believes कि बच्चे बाहर खेलना,
जो आजकल बैगन भी नहीं हो रहा.
हाँ बैगन भी नहीं हो रहा. That's what. So her thing was बाहर खेलना बस. So she worked, you know, she had the thought in her head and all of that, and then I guess the thought was that strong that she manifested it, because trust me, this is a lady who had never done business.
Okay.
So she doesn't come from a business family where she understands business or anything like that.
Okay.
She walked into a government office, got the first tourism project from the Andhra government, that time Andhra government.
Okay.
She was the only lady to get it and the only person to get it for a children's park. At that time. First project that happened. And
nice.
Yeah, she did it all on her own. She built it, she set it up, all of that. It disappeared because of government change and land grabbing and all of that. But tab tak she had run it on her own for like a good 15 odd years.
But that must have been cool, right? To have your own park.
Oh, it was so amazing because फ्लेक्स है बॉस. रात में जाके पार्क में खेलेंगे बोल के अपने बच्चे फ्रेंड्स को बोले तो क्या हाल होता.
करेक्ट.
रात में स्टार गेजिंग, and I was 15 by then, so I was already a little older. My brother was the younger one. छोटा है मेरे से थोड़ा 2 साल. But at 15 now, this is a perfect time for a park, no?
Right.
I mean for different reasons,
yes.
but it still works. So yeah, full flex था. Birthday party बोले तो पार्क में आके करो birthday party, all that. It was damn
I think we rehearsed in that park a couple of times also, you know, for Tahir Ali Beg's play. And at that time, I came to know, like for the first time, that this is Chandni Agarwal's park. I mean, of course, your mother's, but then to own a park. And then...
Yeah, Mom had the park when Tahir was had started directing. Yeah, so you're right.
Right? Okay, now we'll get back to Yogibear Collectives. Pehle to, what is Collectives? Tell me about Collectives. Why Collectives? What is that?
You want the truth or you want the media answer?
The truth, man.
So Mom's park was Yogibear Entertainments, right?
Okay.
And Yogibear itself is a character. It's
right, of course, yeah.
This thing. So we can't just name it Yogibear. So we have to add a addition to it of some sort. Kya karna. Entertainment is still stuck with her company because her company wasn't dissolved by the time I started Yogibear. Even though it had been shut for a while, it takes a little to dissolve a private limited. So entertainments nahi tha. Kya karna, collectives, because collectives also works in the sense that we're a collection of artists and we do a lot of different kind of things over here and things like that. So that's how Yogibear Collectives are.
Definitely gives the name a very artsy
vibe. Yeah.
So this happens to be a workshop space, performance space, theatre. It also happens to be a post-production studio, a film production office. What all is it?
You've covered most of it. we're hoping to set up a cafe in the front, so it'll be a little bit of a small little cafe.
Yeah.
It's very truthfully, it's just a space to create. I didn't give it a purpose and I didn't design it to have one purpose. And the reason for this is the thought process that creation doesn't come in it's not singular in dimension. It can be in any format. Us doing this is creation in its own way.
Right, of course.
Right? So, this space is designed for you to come in and decide what you want it to be. So you literally could just use this space to lie down on the floor and do nothing.
But of course, you've got to pay for that.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to pay to lie down, but...
lying down on the floor and doing nothing is a luxury.
But it's a good luxury.
It's a good luxury.
We could do a class which is just about lying on the floor.
Yeah. And just giving in.
Oh, it would be so nice sometimes from all the anxiety. I had bigger plans. I mean, I ran out of space. I wanted to create a rage room over here for people to
Just
really
let
let
it out.
a little bit. I wanted to create... What were the other couple of ideas? I still want to create a gallery here, like a sort of art gallery for unknown artists. They can come in, put their stuff. If it sells, then it sells, kind of thing.
So basically, the space is there.
Do what you want.
And you can bring your idea as to this is what I want to do here. And if it kind of syncs with your wavelength, the frequency and all of that, you're gonna allow it.
Yeah, basically.
Collaborate with people and stuff like that.
If it syncs with my wavelength, I'll collaborate. Like I'll push further and I'll help as much as I can and incubate the artists and help them really develop an idea that they have. If it doesn't 100% sync with what I'm talking about, I'll just give you the space and let you come up with your the entirety of it, because my energy then is not going to help you in any way with what you're creating.
I mean, your clarity kind of makes it seem like this is not like an overnight thing, and the space came by, you discovered the space and you went and told your mom, okay, we can, I think, do this. I think this was cooking for a while. I mean, you had this idea for a while. That's how it seems like, no?
Truthfully, I don't know. I think I'm just the kind of person who does it. It's...
So was it impulsive?
I feel like... No, it's not... So I'm not impulsive. It's hard to explain. How do I put this? I needed a space where I could create. And I couldn't find a space that I felt comfortable in to work in terms of do what I'm doing. Whether it's theater or movies or anything. Like we were in random cafes having meetings, or we were in random offices, parks, etc. like that. And it never was conducive to actually having enough insightful conversations to build anything out of it. So the space wasn't like it is right now, and we'll look at it later. But the space was not even complete. There wasn't even a flooring here. There was a section in the front which was just a random little box, and initially I had just decided that wo samne ka area le lenge and we will make that samne ka area into a couple of offices and we'll work out of it. And so I'm an architect by training.
Really? I mean, that's what you studied?
That's what I studied. I did my bachelor's and master's in architecture in Australia.
I mean, space pura, designing it, of course you must have had help, but it's your idea, brainchild?
No help, just me and dad.
Just you and dad?
Just me and dad.
And you knew where to source what from?
So actually, a lot of the stuff that's used in the space was actually just kachra lying around from other things and other things being built in the building and stuff like that. The glass panels used here weren't bought.
So a lot of upcycling happened.
But just in random bits and pieces. So you will find things which are little wonky. Like you're like,
it's not symmetric. Every corner is different.
No, it is symmetric because my design style is symmetric, but it's also jugadu because if I need it, I fit it.
Right.
So it doesn't have to be like, okay, this wall is 10 feet high, so I will only use 10 feet high glass. If I had 9 feet high glass, then I'd add a panel of something else and then just make it work.
Finish the thing.
that kind of thing.
I see a lot of ancestral furniture. I mean, that's what it looks like. There's a lot of furniture that you brought in from home, like all the furniture that you inherited actually from people. I mean, maybe.
नहीं, वो तो निकल गया अभी. There's not that much of that.
Because I saw this very old writing desk.
Oh yeah, okay. So there is some furniture in the actually in the entire building. That is all my dad's antique collection.
Your dad's antique collection.
हाँ,
Okay.
तो there are a few pieces here and there that's still there, remnants of him, because
घर से पूरा उठा के ला ले तू. Dad.
I mean, sometimes he does feel like that, because then I'll go home. Like, we didn't have a projector in for a while, but I wanted to start screenings.
Right.
So I picked up the projector from home, and he was sitting without one for like a good 3 months.
Right.
Kind of also the way I'm like, खरीद लो नहीं तो मिलता नहीं वापस. So yeah. थोड़ा. Yeah, it's a mix and match of हमारे घरों से आया है, दूसरों के घरों से आया है. Things that like dad's friends have said, oh, it's not working with my interiors, देखो कोई काम है क्या इसका, हाँ दे दे, and then just placed where it's placed, that kind of thing. My partner's stuff is not here anymore, but it was here initially when we were working with the space.
Okay.
Then it just didn't fit my design aesthetic, so I said, like it out.
We saw a couple of interesting spaces. Like there's one where there's a lot of dairy milk wrappers stuck together.
I made that. So because the building's old and it's a basement, there are leakage issues. So to cover the leakage issue, I just designed that, and
Where do you get so many dairy milk wrappers from?
It's not actual dairy milk wrappers. You get it in the market. Okay, so I'm also a pastry chef.
You're also a pastry chef. You're an architect. You're an actor, entrepreneur.
Life just happened, man.
Life just happened. Okay.
Yeah. So I know where to source all this pastry stuff and all. So they're not used wrappers. It's naya wrappers that I would actually use to cover chocolates for when I used to sell.
The story that I had in my mind was more interesting. Like she collected all the used wrappers and then stuck them up. But that's okay. It's still interesting.
Also.
And then there's this space where you've stuck like a lot of postcards and pictures and stuff like that. So that is what, your collection over time, or you always had it in your system, like pictures that influenced you or that you fell in love with?
They're pictures. Collection over time. Things that I've looked at and really connected to. The space needs art. It needs a lot more art on the walls. I still think it's a little bare. But this is how much time I had. So these two pieces got made for like the launch that we had. I said, isko cover kar dete ho, isko kar dete. It gives people something to kind of, look at and Instagram. And the number of people have stolen my posters, bro.
From that thing?
Wall, yeah. Like,
stolen?
Yeah.
You've got a camera there, right? Have you seen who are these people? I mean, of course, you won't name them on the camera, but then...
Guess who come in for events and stuff. They'll just suddenly like...
What? They'll just like take a fucking pic and go? Whoa!
So, and I'm okay with it actually. I'm like, ठीक है, if something...
अच्छा लगा उन लोगों को.
इतना पसंद आया तो ले लो. And it's also the reason why I'm not putting expensive art onto the walls over there. I mean, if a gallery comes in, then of course there'll be safety put in a different level. But this is just stuff that I did. I printed onto sheets and I said, ठीक है, पसंद आया तो ले लो. I'll, replace it with something else once the walls kind of bare. That kind of
मुझे भी अच्छे लगे थे 2-3
ले.
Okay, so Yogibear Collectives, like how long has it been, man? How many shows have you hosted? How many groups have you hosted? Like, how long has it been?
6 to 8 months, I think, since we've been properly operational. It's been 1 year since we started working here. But we were working in a khandar. Like we were using this front rooms and just working through the dust and
Finish
all
nahi
of
hua
that.
tha jagah.
Kuch bhi nahi hua tha. It wasn't done yet. It still needed flooring to start with. So we were working in it from that point. And the company itself is like now 2 years old.
The company is 2 years.
2 years old. Yeah. So I registered it 2 years ago. Didn't do anything with it initially. Actually, I didn't know what I wanted to do with it initially. So it was just, okay, I want to do something. Dal ke chhodte, let's figure it out. It took a year of, okay, I'll produce, okay, I'll, do events and create like another event space or something like that. A lot of combinations of what I wanted to do. And then the space happened. Like I looked, needed a space where I could actually think and come up with what I finally wanted to do. And then it just became what it became.
Yeah, one good thing is like I don't know if you realize it because you've been busy like running the space and like curating content and getting groups to perform here and all that. But then like like we've been theater artists, we are theater artists, and like so many times when we meet for rehearsals and stuff, like you said, we're meeting in makeshift places, not really rehearsal spaces.
Yeah.
But then it's a good thing that in Secunderabad now, somewhere between Secunderabad and Hyderabad, there's this space where people can, do things. Otherwise, for the last few years, somehow after Lamakan kind of became a second option for people, a lot of action got centered around Gachibowli in that side of the town.
So, I mean, I know why that's happened. It is a younger market on that side because I know a lot of my friends from Secunderabad have shifted towards Gachibowli and stuff as
For
well.
work.
For work. Because MNCs are all over there and stuff like that. But at the same time, you're right. And that was one of the thoughts when we finally put it, because a lot of investment went into the space.
Right.
I mean, if there wasn't even flooring, then you can imagine the kind of construction work we had to do for it. I think it's time to connect back with what Hyderabad was as well.
Right.
Because there's a direct metro. It's not going to take you.
Yeah, man, you get off the metro and you walk into the space.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful
you
space with a green
touch-
door.
Exactly. I love my door. Though I'm thinking of putting like a yellow, like.
No, man. Green is fantastic.
No, the door's not going to change.
Okay.
But like, so I'm thinking of putting this little lamp in the middle.
Okay.
And then drawing like a yellow across the whole thing onto the floor, marking like the point of the light at all
Right.
times.
Right.
So even at like in the day when there's no light from the bulb, it still looks like there's like a line of light coming down.
Yeah.
It's just an idea. I don't know if I'll do it or not.
But it generates a lot of curiosity, I mean,
Exactly.
last time we were doing Anand's workshop, like we would take breaks and stand outside and have chai. So many people just walking by would stop and ask us, "Kya hai bhaiya ye? Kya hai bhaiya ye? Kya hai bhaiya ye?" And all of that. So nice, man.
I'll tell you why I know that that's true. I mean, I wasn't there when you guys were doing the smoking thing, but delivery guys don't like coming into spaces.
Right.
They're like bahar se tum aake lo kind of thing.
Correct.
Especially the porter guys. And for 2-3 deliveries that we needed, the porter guy actually is carrying the thing and bringing it in.
Just because he
Just
wants to see
सिर्फ
क्या है इस दरवाजे के पीछे और दरवाजा छोटा है, right?
It height में छोटा है. It's
You
quite
can,
wide,
yeah, but you
हाँ.
cannot gauge that from the outside that when you open this door,
This
there's
is
a massive
inside.
space.
Yeah. You think you're going into like a basement or like a chotu sa
Yeah.
little
A
dingy
yoga
little
studio
space.
or one hall thing or something like that.
Yeah.
But then, are you ever conflicted कि क्यों कर रही हूँ यार मैं, why all this madness and spend money and all that? I'm an artist, मेरा art करती हूँ, अपना theater करती हूँ और अपना साइड में थोड़ा सा हसल करके थोड़ा पैसा जमाती हूँ. Why the hell do I need to run a space and curate and meet people and collaborate and have meetings and why like
Every day.
every day?
There are moments that look, you can't love everybody you meet. It's just impossible. There's some people that you will hit it off with brilliantly, and there's some people that just something about them won't work for you.
Right.
But when you're trying to run a space, you have to kind of say yes to everyone and everything.
Because anything can become anything.
Anything can become anything. So just yesterday, actually, I landed up with a severe headache because my entire day went speaking to people that I couldn't connect with well and
Right.
who just an overdose of noise, I guess, from another source. And it takes a lot from you. It took away my entire day from the play that I'm working on right now because I couldn't work on that play at all. As an artist, it eats up into just
Personally, the
basically,
stuff that you want to do.
Yeah, exactly. All of that. I'm like, I had a whole day wasted because I just couldn't function after. So my day starts at 6 in the morning. So I started at 6. I was here by 7:30. The first meeting came in at around 7:45, 8 o'clock, and that guy overran his meeting, running into the next person's meeting who didn't leave till 6 p.m.
Right.
So I was with these two people the whole day, and these two people sucked everything out. On the other hand, there was a team that just came in last weekend to do theatre over here, and I absolutely loved them. Like I actually spent an entire extra, like my Sunday with them just to like get to know who they are and what they're doing and
Right.
what we can do maybe in the
So a
city they're
mix of
from.
energies.
Yeah.
And you have to say yes to all the meetings because, like you said,
Anything can go
anything can
anywhere.
become anything,
Yeah.
and then you've got to give it a shot. And only
Yeah.
then you realize whether you want to work with those people or not. But you're absorbing so much through the day.
Yeah. Actually, we don't. So, at least I'm on this trip where I'm not going to say no to anybody based off how much energy of mine they're taking. I shift them off to people who can handle a larger dose of that, I guess. So the team that's there, the interns, my partner and the other partner and stuff. If I can't take it, they handle it, and but we don't say no
You don't say
unless
no.
it's against the principle of the company.
Right.
And the principle of the company is simple. We don't cheat artists. You want to work with us, you're going to have to work towards paying them. We collaborate. So we will say, okay, you'll get paid a little later, all of that will happen, but they will get paid.
But that also means that you demand from the artists that you cannot be lethargic about what you're pursuing.
100%.
Because it's a give and take, right? I mean, if you're giving them space, if you're collaborating and promising them that we'll make sure you'll get paid, you're expecting that much commitment from them as well, right?
100%.
And Hyderabad that way is a little...
Yeah. Yes.
Mm.
I think there are enough here who are willing to put in the work behind what they're doing.
Right.
And I know there are more who are not
Right.
because for a lot of artists here, it is a side hustle.
Right.
Right. And I'm okay with that. Initially, I wasn't. Initially, I was really stressed and worried about it because I mean, I'm running my entire company for artists, by artists kind of thing. And if I'm not even going to get an artist interested in doing anything, I'm
Correct.
basically losing a lot of money every month, right? Then I decided that जो आएगा उसके साथ सही से करेंगे and that is going to be enough to start driving other people to start doing better.
But right now, I'm sure there's like a huge influx, right? I mean, people are coming left, right, center to kind of like with ideas, no? Because I see the notice board, a lot of play posters are there and stuff like that. But then apart from that, what's happening?
There's a cool dance weekend happening that I'm excited about.
Dance weekend.
Yeah, and it's going to be like a 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. thing for
Whoa.
2 days. Afro, Latin American dancing and things like that. That I'm really excited about.
Right.
There's a couple of poets coming in. So next week, in fact, there's a poet coming in who is doing this immersive piece, like a semi-immersive piece, because she's going to do poetry in the dark with just a projection of something or the other. There are cool things coming in, but there's not enough of it to really say that there's a large influx.
As of now.
As of now. But I do think it will grow.
But
Like,
you've
the
started
more
turning
people
heads. I
coming
mean, people have started knowing that there is this
For
thing
sure.
called Yogibear Collectives and
in.
stuff.
I'm a
like
meme now.
that. Yeah. So, ab, see, what I want to know is, you're enabling a lot of art. I wouldn't
Hoping
use
I
like
am.
a very heavy word like empowering artists, but you are in a way actually, you know. I mean, giving them space. Space is a major, major thing. And there is this tendency to get carried away and feel overwhelmed, you know, when you're watching things happen around you and like you're giving this space to people and people are actually exhibiting their art, their talent, their skills and connecting with people because of what you've built.
Right.
So it's easy to be overwhelmed. So how do you keep yourself grounded?
I haven't felt overwhelmed yet,
No?
so I don't know. Maybe the thing is, for me, this space is still a work in progress.
Okay.
I don't feel like it's complete in any way. Like everyone who walks in, and I think I'm that kind of person. I don't think anything is ever complete for me.
Right. Everything's always work in progress.
Everything's always work in progress. You yourself are a work in progress.
Of course.
So, I think that's probably the reason why I've never felt overwhelmed about that or like felt like I've arrived. So then there's no real need to be grounded because according to me, I still haven't arrived.
So you are grounded by nature.
I hope so. I mean, I do have times when I have to play the part of somebody who's not grounded.
Right.
And
Deal with people.
I play it, yeah, and I play it well. My partner says that I breeze through a room and, I'd probably run over somebody and walk through as if I've done nothing.
Right.
It's jokes about that because I have a red car. So it's like you have a red car so that, you run over people and nobody knows. So
But that's also maybe just because you don't want to, like, you're not that much into random conversations or something like that.
No, I've just always had that walk. Like I walk with purpose. I don't meander. I'm not slouchy when I walk. And I feel like people take that to mean that they shouldn't approach me or that, I'm intimidating or I'm throwing my weight around. But it's genuinely not that. I'm just walking with a purpose because I have a purpose to go somewhere. Like
I've seen like when you've hosted shows and stuff, and when I've come to watch shows, I've seen how busy you are. Like I mean, there is no window to just catch you and tell you, hey, what's up?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
So
because
I'm
there's
running
stuff
around.
happening and I'm busy and I'm running around getting something done, and you're usually running around getting something done.
Yeah, exactly. But no, even if it's a party and I walk in, people have said this. They're like, you walk in and you act as if it's all about that walk, like you made an entrance. But I don't see it. Like I haven't prepped myself outside saying, okay, now let's make an entrance.
It's
like,
not
okay,
like it's not that you're putting up an act or something like that. That's how you are.
Exactly. That's how I am. I'm walking in. I'm walking with purpose, and it doesn't matter where I'm walking. I'm always walking with purpose. I walk fast.
Cool, man. So, I mean, speaking of walking with purpose, let's do this walk.
Chalo.
Show us the space.
Chalo. So this is my office,
This is Chandni's office, by the way.
Where we were shooting.
Yeah, where we were shooting the first part of this thing.
It's also where we, store stuff right now, even though I say no.
Yeah, because work in progress.
Yeah. This is Shiva's office.
Okay, your
We will
partner.
look through my partner and...
What does Shiva do, by the way?
Shiva is a boy genius.
A boy genius, okay. Like what, VFX and stuff?
Yeah, so he's basically the creative head for the company.
Okay.
And that's his office. That's where he does all the VFX stuff. He writes. He's the main script doctor that we have. So if you've got scripts and they need to be fixed up and stuff like that, Shiva does that.
So also a showrunner, like if you send like a script into production and all that, he takes care of like the quality and if it's nothing like that.
I didn't get that question. Showrunner for on ground?
On ground, yeah.
No. He will not. The team will do that. Like he will give them the direction, but the team will do that. He will not come up in front and actually go on set and do that.
Okay.
Though he might direct now. We've got a couple of micro budget films coming up.
Okay.
So in their micro budget films, they're not micro films. They're chotu budget ke bade films, full films.
Budget ke bade films.
Haan. So he might direct one. So then I'll see whether he'll get onto set and stuff like
Being
that.
on ground and stuff like that.
Yeah, like
So
that.
we see this big hall here.
Where we can dance here and do whatever we want. Yes.
So this is for workshops and performances and stuff like that.
Yeah, this hall is better suited, I think, for performances as such. But for now, they're being used for workshops as well, even if they're small workshops, because I still have to finish my work in progress on the other end.
What are you planning for that end?
That's where the workshop space is going to be. So I want to paint the walls black, put a black carpet down, make it a kind of like a black box. Oh, these are my cool platform thingies. Got to look at that. So these are like the 360 degree turning mirrors that we turn around and can be used as basically the area turns into a dance studio. You can use it for anything studio that needs mirrors as such. And then when we turn it around the other way, when shows are on, that can be used as a green room. So the artists can change over there and stuff like that. This is generally...
speakers here.
Huh.
Like when I've been here for shows, that's where the stage has been. So now has it changed? Like is this going to be the stage? And the audience is that side?
The stage can be anywhere. And it'll change as per requirement.
As per the director of the show.
Not just that, but also the audience. So if it's a show that has about 160, 170 people, we'd rather you put the stage here because we've got your light rig in place and the projectors on this end and stuff like that.
Right.
But let's say you've managed to, pull in 200-300 people, then you'd need the space at the back there to have space, like fill the auditorium all the way. Then we'll shift you on that side and, do the hard work of shifting your setup for the other side and stuff like that. I mean, not all of it will shift, but whatever you need will go onto that side, that kind of thing.
So it's kind of like a box and you can do what you want with it. You can set it up the way you want.
Rectangle, but yeah, it's a...
Are you also
rectangular box.
eventually planning to get like platforms and podiums and these wooden... Oh, you already have them?
We have them. They come down and you build a... Let me just get lights.
So this is going to be the workshop space.
This is going to be the workshop space. I have to find out where to put all of that.
Whoa,
but,
okay. Yeah, that's what I was actually asking about, the stage.
Yeah. So we got them made. They're a lot stronger than the stages you get outside.
Correct.
And then we put it down. We put a carpet on it. We put a thermocol, not a thermocol, kya bolte? It was soft things so that your legs don't make so much sound when you walk. We put that down and you use it as a stage. And it's a good 15 inches. So you've got a height for your audience to be able to see. Yeah. Chairs, we've got 150 chairs.
150 chairs.
149 because somebody broke one chair.
Oh.
Guys, you got to be careful when you use chairs, man.
But 149 is a sexier number than 150.
True.
So thanks to that person who broke that.
And this is our dubbing studio, our podcast studio. This is where we do all of that.
Podcast studio. Okay.
It's not set up right now, it's just the room because we haven't had anything recently.
Minimal and good.
There are more spaces, right? The other way. Take you to the other side. So this is the entry and the foyer.
Nice.
This is the artwork with the wrappers that you were talking about.
These are the Dairy Milk wrappers, but not really Dairy Milk wrappers.
Yeah, this is the place where you will generally have your box office when you have a show and something like that.
This is
the
the
meeting
picture
room.
wall.
Yeah, and you see
The gaps.
stolen. But it's okay.
But then, dude, that's actually insane, man. Somebody actually thought, okay, I really love this. Let me pick it up and take it away.
It's cool. It's actually what it was meant for. So you see what I did? I left a few blanks for artsy people to come in and fill it. Sketch whatever they want. They could have just anything. They're just blanks where you can just add your own stuff.
Whoa,
but
nice.
Nobody added. They took away, and I think there's art to that also. So ठीक है, ले जाओ. That's a meeting room, and Jonas and Manka having a meeting right now.
Right.
We rent it out for people who want to do one-on-ones and things like that. This is the cafe area that I want to convert it into the cafe area.
That's your little cafe, your open kitchen.
Right now it's just like a pantry open kitchen, but I'm hoping to bring somebody in or start our own.
So this
cafe.
whole space is kind of going to become like a cafe.
Yeah, I'd like it to become kind of like a cafe where people can, come. Initially I was like, no one's going to chill in this space. Everyone has to come with a purpose.
But stuff.
Now maybe to cover costs, I'm like, aake chill karo, but then this will be your only little space where you can come and chill. That kind of thing. And you have to buy food when you do it.
You have to buy food.
Yeah.
And let's look at the menu. The menu is very basic. A, B, C, D, E, F, G.
Abhi nahi hai. Now it's just coffee, tea, and when we have events, we have stuff. So we'll have sandwiches and samosas.
Tea, coffee, green tea, black coffee, water, cheese sandwich and chutney sandwich. That's enough, man.
I mean, it's cool, but it's not a cafe cool, right?
Yeah.
And this is my little nook. It's going to be called the nook also.
The nook.
This is where we're going to have all the books that we keep collecting, cinema books, etc., etc. They'll all start coming in here a little bit.
All these books you got them from your house?
Yeah, these are old books of mine, old books of Shiva's, old books of all the people.
Other people whoever contributed.
Whoever contributed, yeah.
Like this the on the glass is so interesting. It's like you can define it here, like the dash.
नहीं आना है nook आना है उसके बाजू, but अभी तक सिर्फ the हुआ है.
Because I'm spending a lot of time with you, I'm thinking very artistic.
ठीक है. What else? So this is like the common area. This is also where people will wait when we have like an event about to happen and things like that.
This is the notice board. These are the shows happening.
Guys, this was really fun last time when we did it. It's a theatre workshop. I'm taking this theatre workshop for children, and it should happen again in March. So it'll be like, you know, this summer holiday thing. We'll have a 15-day workshop, and then they'll actually get on stage with it. It'd be really nice. I loved it last time when I did it. And director's cut happens every month. We're going to do our first film.
You're going to do your first film?
Our film, the film that we made and is cut and ready and everything. The first copy is out. We're going to do nodal testing for it. So in one of these director's cuts, that film will be aired, I guess. This is the tiny little area. This is where people have their lunch for now.
Your staff and stuff.
But my
This
staff
is the
and stuff.
writing table that I was talking about.
This is my dad's.
This is vintage stuff. Like, I think even a bad writer would end up writing something brilliant if this were the table, you know.
This was going to be the writer's room, but I'm just waiting to like figure it out where to put my staff to eat. Basically, I've run out of space. So till then. And then this is a cool little smaller workshop and, you know, more intimate session space. So people come in here when they've got, I mean, we don't have the height, so they don't jump around here, but they definitely sit down and quieter things that people would like to do.
Meditation or healing work or book reading.
Book readings, quiz night when there's like less number of people and things like that. So yeah, that's another desk of my dad's. It's still
even that
here.
was vintage.
Yeah.
Nice, man. Good use of space.
Thank you. That's it.
Yeah.
And then we'll show you the cool green door.
Of course.
Can't miss the green door. Watch your head.
Yeah. The green door is actually a mystery, you know, like for people who, like only after the first time you come here, you have this perception that, I mean, that's a door you cannot miss.
Yeah.
But otherwise, I think the first time anybody's here, they're looking for it.
And yeah, you'll
Even though it
always be
stands
like,
out.
yeah, looking for it. So there is, don't miss my plants, my pretty plants.
Pretty plants, and there's this sunroof.
Yeah. And now you'll have a lot of road noise, but
That's okay. Road noise is road noise. Thank you.
that's the green door and Yogibear.
This is the green door, man. It's hard to miss and not hard to miss. Yogibear. So thank you for showing us the space and also having this little conversation with us, Chandni.
No problem.
I know it was right after your rehearsal and I probably chewed your brain a little more than I wanted to, but then...
No, you didn't actually. I thought you'd be asking me really like ऐसा questions and I'll be like, oh my god,
I
कैसा
didn't
answer
prepare
करूँ?
anything, you know, like I said, like I'm just gonna let my general curiosity lead.
I think that's the best way to do it. It's fun. It allows the person on the other end also to talk to you more candidly, which is great.
So anything that you want to tell our peeps?
Come do stuff here, guys. We don't bite. Maybe we do, but in a good way.
That's love bite you want.
Chichi. बस उतना ही बोलना है.
Alright, say bye. Say that like, share, subscribe thing also, no, please.
Oh yeah. If you like this interview, please like, share, subscribe.
It's called Phosafir.
Phosafir is
Yeah,
the channel.
That's been my photo page on Instagram for a long time and I'm planning to kind of
Nice.
like put stuff there itself.
No, I'm very excited. I'm very excited about some of the people he's planning to talk to as well. So please follow, please like, share, subscribe, and follow Yogibear also.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Collective.
Collective. Yogibear.collectives.
Thank you,
ठीक है.
Chandni.
Bye.
Bye. You can turn away now.